This week we showed you dash camera footage showing the moment a vehicle on an LA freeway ran over a tire that just came off a pickup truck next to it, launching the car up into the air. Happened in Chatsworth in the San Fernando Valley. The truck on the right side there, the driver's side tire pops off right in front of the Kia. The Kia flies into the air, spins and crashes there into the freeway, rolling over. So a lot to talk about here because the video is just incredible, but the circumstances of what caused it and what happened thereafter, also very important stuff. So joining us in the studio, Sergeant Brian Pennings from the CHP to talk about it. Brian, incredibly, in this video, the driver was not seriously hurt, which is probably the most remarkable thing. Obviously, the video itself is pretty remarkable. What do you attribute that to?
Well, she was properly restrained. She was the only one inside the vehicle, but she was properly restrained. The vehicle did its job and protected her and held her in place. The airbags deployed, dissipated any internal injuries, and she walked away with a complaint of pain.
Can we talk about the rarity of something like this, or maybe the frequency of something like this? How often does something like that, where a tire pops off a vehicle, A, and B, where a car launches in that kind of way off the road?
I've been on 29 years, and this is the fourth time I have been involved in an investigation where this has happened. It's all been mechanical failure that has caused the wheel to come off. In this situation, our investigators did a mechanical inspection on the vehicle and found that the studs for the lug nuts were sheared off as a result of the lug nuts not being tight enough.
So what causes that? Was it the guy got the new tire on, they didn't tighten it enough at the shop, or what was it that something happens over time?
He said in his statement that he has not had mechanical work done on his vehicle, so it probably was progressively had gotten loose. It just goes, you need to routinely do a mechanical inspection on your vehicle, and checking your lug nuts is part of that mechanical inspection.
How often would you do that? What would that look like? You want to make sure you look under the hood and look all around the vehicle,
right.
kind of thing?
Well, anytime you get your car worked on, your tires rotated or new tires put on, you want to make sure that the lug nuts are tightened, and then you want to reassess them within a few hundred miles. And I would do it, routinely, no more or no less than one time a year.
So what's interesting in this case is obviously there's no intent here. It's not like the driver made a mistake, other than what you're talking about, maybe in the months and years before leading up to it. But who's liable, and what's the responsibility here when it comes to? Fortunately, this woman was okay, but obviously it could have been much worse.
Yeah, this could have very easily been a tragedy.
Yeah.
Ultimately, the cause of the crash is considered other than driver. It was a mechanical failure that caused it, but the owner of that truck will be civilly liable for the damages and their insurance for what occurred because of the mechanical failure of the vehicle.
Much of the reason we know exactly what happened because of the dash cam behind. So there's a vehicle going behind that witnesses this whole thing. Talk to us about dash cams. I know they're on CHP cruisers. They've probably changed the game as far as investigations go.
They absolutely, and they're very valuable tool for us. I just had this situation just a few weeks ago. I was traveling southbound 805 and saw a vehicle veer off the freeway all of a sudden, my dash cam had caught that the right rear wheel had fallen off. The person had just picked it up from the dealership and was on their way back home, and they rolled up the embankment. She was 7 months pregnant. Fortunately uninjured, she was properly restrained. But again, it was a mechanical failure where the lug nuts weren't tight on the vehicle. Should
more people have dash cams?
Well, they're a valuable tool, and if you're a company, we always recommend that you do that just for liability purposes, so it can capture what occurs in front of you if you're ever involved in a collision.
So let's say you witness something like this, or you have dash cam video of something that happened even, maybe 100 yards ahead, whatever the case may be. Talk to us about what you do as a witness when you see something like this, as far as helping or reporting.
Right. So the lady who captured this information was driving a Tesla behind her, and Teslas are equipped from the factory with dash cam video. And she not only captured it on video, but she also was a party in this collision because the debris that came off the Kia damaged the front of her vehicle. And it's very, very important. And if you have dash cam video of a situation, please contact us and let the Highway Patrol know and the investigating agency know that you've captured it, and they'll want to take a look at it just to confirm or add to the physical evidence and statements that they have.
Here's a question. I was driving to work today. Just thinking about this has hit me. There was a ladder in the freeway. Okay, what do? You see a tire you see a ladder, you see something significant that obviously can do a lot of damage. What are you supposed to do in that case?
Well, again, you remember our 5 rules of driving.
Yeah.
You maintain a high visual horizon, which I assume you were doing, and you can perceive that that's going to happen. You can predict it, so you can have an avenue of escape. If you are in a situation where where it comes off the back of the truck, there's nowhere for you to go. The last thing you want to do is jerk your vehicle and fail to maintain control of your vehicle. It would be much better for you to hit the ladder and pull safely to the shoulder with minimal damage than to fail to maintain control of your vehicle and take some other vehicles out as you're swerving out of control.
What about as far as reporting it? Let's say it's a tire.
Call 911.
Yeah.
That is an emergency. It goes straight to CHP dispatch, so you can report it to us and we can retrieve it hopefully before any damage gets.
And the plan is to do a traffic break. Is that kind of how it works? And then you guys grab it.
So we'll go back and forth, serpentine, slow traffic down, safely retrieve it out of the roadway, hopefully before anybody hits it.
The reason I thought about the tire in the road is because that same tire that launched that Kia hit it again from behind.
So when you think about it, it's rolling forward.
Yeah.
And when the Kia hits it, it goes underneath the vehicle, flips over, and that tire is still rolling. So when the Kia came to a stop upside down after it rolled, the tire caught back up to it again and hit it from behind.
You realize how dangerous that can be for anybody who's around there.
Well, and you got to remember too that the forces that are involved, because that tire weighs a lot.
Yeah, unbelievable. Sergeant Brian Pennings, appreciate you breaking it down. Thanks for bringing the report and helping us understand it. And the key, stay restrained, because that saved that woman's life.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you very much. We'll be